He's the big
I went
dog.
big. I went $1.33.
Yeah.
Look,
right.
I'll take a couple of minutes of your time. Like I said, punters. I have had a little bit of a look at these games at about 1:30 this morning. I will get back on track next week, full preview, etc., like we did last
pants
week.
next week.
Punting pants, slide straight on. I really like Friday night's game. Friday night, we've got North Melbourne versus Hawthorn at Marvel Stadium. It's probably, there's a couple of good games in here, but it's both teams. North Melbourne still can mathematically make the 8. Hawthorn coming back from what was quite a... I'm going to say upset against Brisbane last week. They don't really lose often down in Tasmania. We also tipped that Brisbane 1-39, paying $2.45. No
Beautiful.
big deal.
Well done.
I think Hawthorn get the chockies here. They're also paying $1.95 and they're outsiders. So
And they're just outside the 8, aren't they? So
just outside. They're sitting on 32 points. A win here would probably... I don't know if it gets them into the 8 because that spot they need to take is Adelaide's. And I'm going to have a bet on Adelaide. I know a lot of people wouldn't be too confident like I am on that, but I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I think Hawthorn, out of those kind of 4 teams, Freo, scrap them, out of kind of Hawthorn, Port and Western Bulldogs on who's going to slot into the 8, my money's on Hawthorn. So
the Western Bulldogs are playing the Lions, so you'd expect them to...
That'll be a big game.
That'll be a good game.
Yeah, I'm not betting on that one, I don't think. I would, if anything, I would kind of roll over the bet and do Brisbane again 1-39, but I'd be staying away because, Brisbane are in the top 4. They're sitting pretty as well. That was a tough game. Travel, Tasmania. They've left Brisbane to go to Tasmania in the middle of winter. It would have been a tough road game. Western Bulldogs, like you just said, BJ, they would be hunting to try and get in the 8 there. I wouldn't be surprised of a bit of an upset, but I'll go into that possibly. So Friday night, I do like the Hawks.
Okay.
I think the rest of my games are Saturday games. Let me have a look. I mentioned the Crows before. Now, somehow the Crows are still in the 8. I think they've lost, 4 out of their past 5 games.
They're equal with the Bulldogs on points.
They are.
Right down the bottom.
They are. So they lost to Carlton last week. So I don't know. Their form is... And Carlton's a funny one.
Carlton are well off the lap. They're not getting the spoon this year.
No, they're not. It's well and truly in the Suns' hands. But it's Carlton. We'll go into that actually possibly in next week or this week's podcast about these caretaker coaches and how they've done. But St Kilda, same thing. St Kilda have got a caretaker coach. They sacked their coach, Alan Richardson, 2 rounds ago. Brett Ratton, who is a previous head coach of Carlton, been an assistant coach for the last couple of years, came back in, has been elevated to the caretaker coach position at St Kilda till the end of the year. He's won 2 on the trot. So St Kilda are up and about, but I think there's too much at stake here for Adelaide. I'm betting that they don't let this slide, and the bounce back effect from the Carlton loss brings them into contention against St Kilda. So, and the fact that they're in Adelaide, if this was in Melbourne, I reckon I'd probably take St Kilda, but Adelaide they're giving us $1.37 for them to win. The line is 17.5, which I think I'm just going to stay away from that, stick to win bets at this stage. Crows to win $1.37.
Good one. I reckon I'm with you. They need to stay in the 8.
I wouldn't be happy with last week.
We need Tex Walker, who's their ex-captain, now vice-captain, full forward, turned nothing.
He used to be the man.
He was. Remember he had the big mo?
Yeah, he was the man.
Yeah.
That year they got beat by Richmond.
In the grand final, yeah.
I think we were at the... No, I was with Claridge. Shout out Claridge. He just had a kid too.
Did he?
Yeah, little Daisy.
Oh, cute. Like that name.
Yeah. Cook them up. Daisy and Maxwell.
Max and Daisy. Sitting in a tree.
Max, Daisy.
Yeah, that year was. They're in an interesting spot, Adelaide, and we might go into it. We actually put this out on the page to quite a big response. They're looking at shedding players, list cutting, because they don't want to get rid of their coach, Don Pike, who somehow they still see that 2017 as a success because they made the grand final. The fact that they didn't turn up at all, I don't know. That's a bit of a. What would you say? What would you say? Like, if you're Penrith, you're Manly, you're
Spurs
the president.
made Champions League final, didn't win it. This
Different. That's so much different, I think, because there's too many factors in that. That's a massive achievement.
Thank you. We did our best.
Well, they say you got to play in a grand final to win a grand final.
Yeah,
so
that's
You got to lose
you
one to
go-
win one, yeah.
yeah. If you go on and win one in the next couple of years,
But now
Fair
they look
enough.
like they've lost 4 of their last 5. They look like everyone says they're going to lose their spot in the 8. None of their forwards are firing. Their coach, who I think rumours are they want to get rid of him, but apparently his payout clause is nearly $3 million. So
Wasn't a player.
he's not going nowhere.
I need
So-
to get a payout
get into
clause
coaching.
like that
Yeah, me too.
for the leg up.
See ya.
Not with you bloody spending $1 a
Oh, yeah,
minute.
bloody
$4 a minute
$4.
over here.
$1
No,
a
$1
minute.
Well,
relax.
lucky.
Relax. Yeah, you're bloody lucky. Remember that time I paid for something and I told him it was only $26 US? He's like, $30 Idiot.
Oh,
Maybe you hit me with a bottle of wine?
We need a CFO.
Yeah, we need a good CFO.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2 new staff.
he'd sack us if he could. Cats head over west to play Fremantle. Freo had a big loss to the Western Bulldogs last week. There's a bit of value around Geelong, and the line's only 16.5, so you can play with that if you'd like that. But the Dockers have slipped down to 12th. I think they've lost 4 of the last 5 games as well, so they're kind of hitting pretty average form mid-season. The July form
Purple
is bad.
Purple rain.
Purple rain. Purple rain. Purple rain. Prince. Shout out to Prince if you're listening.
He's no longer with us.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Big fan.
We love Prince.
Raspberry beret.
It's like my
Borgie's got it on.
poo-coloured
Borgie came
beanie.
in not happy with his charity beanie that he bought for brain
First time
cancer.
I've worn it. First
Is
up.
it really?
Yeah.
Good
First
on
up.
you.
How long ago did you buy it? This isn't even this
End
year.
of last year, yeah.
You don't wear beanies in Gold Coast.
Yeah, you don't. I bought it just because they said, "Oh, do you want to buy?" And I was like, "Well,
I'll go
you've
wear a
asked me
beanie
now,
next
so I
week.
got to."
I wore a beanie on the podcast once.
Yeah, you did.
Remember?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
One of the highlights.
Literally one of the highlights from the podcast that week.
And it wasn't recorded on video.
Oh yeah, was it?
Oh,
When we're finished racing, we will touch on highlights of the podcast, as has been said by some of our loyal listeners.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Dane, if it's about your Harker story again.
No, that's my own
well,
highlight.
this is the
No,
best
we'll get
highlight.
to that.
Geelong had a good fight with the Swannies last week. Ended up steamrolling them in the third quarter, beating them by, I can't remember the
Have they had their
score,
loss
but-
yet?
Geelong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got beat by Hawthorn the week before.
Yeah, okay. So now they're running into the finals. It's
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So if you just go off recent form, I wish Geelong beat Sydney by quite a bit. In fact, I'll just bring it up because this is the best form to go off. Last week, Geelong beat. Where are we?
Go to the AFL page, mate.
Right, last week, Geelong beat...
Sydney by 27 points, and the week before, Fremantle beat Sydney by 1 point. So, and it was over at their home ground advantage, and so Sydney had it. So, I'm going with the Cats there. $1.40. Sunday's game: Eagles versus Carlton. The Carlton have been valiant. They're on a 3-game winning streak. Same thing.
And Eagles are in
Coach.
that second position, and there's the second position hoodoo at the moment with the AFL.
Yes. I think the line here's only 17.5, which, remember, we're talking 2 versus 15.
15, yeah.
I still think West Coast get this done. I don't think it's going to be by a lot. So
Where's that?
It's in Melbourne.
Okay.
It's at Marvel, so not the MCG or anything like that. They probably couldn't fill it. But, yeah, I think West Coast, they're only 4 points shy of Geelong. I think they're going to be out and hungry for this game. They hammered. I think they've won 5 out of 6 of their last meetings with Carlton. They just usually have it over them. Carlton's pressure's been very good, but yeah, I think the Eagles get it done. I'm just going to do a win bet here just so I can give you guys a straight multi, which that's the lot and it gets to about $5. But a 1-39 bet in this game would be not that margin, minus 17.5. I think they're going to win by about 4 goals. So 1-39 or minus 17.5.
Bit
get
of
around
buff
that
on either side.
Yeah, I think that'd be